Welcome to One Focus Property Management. I'm Jennifer Rowlands, broker and owner here, and I wanted to describe for you the new client journey. Perhaps you're new to us, you're just getting started learning about us, and you wonder, how does one go about hiring a property management company? Well, everyone's different. We have a well-established, proven process for onboarding new clients and properties to make sure that we can absolutely promise on what we deliver you. So let me walk you through it. The first step, and we may have already had this, is a discovery call. And a discovery call can be in person, on Zoom, or on the telephone. And we would briefly discuss the nature of your properties, your goals with them, and a bit about the situation and your history with it. And then we would talk to you a little bit about how we work, how our fees and contracts work. And what we're trying to identify on this call is, do we have a potential match? Does One Focus meet your needs? And are you a client profile and property type and location that we can service? By the end of that discovery call, we'll provide the potential client with a lot of information to review, from our contracts to our YouTube library, and a checklist that describes some of the things they'll need to gather in the process of hiring us. When our clients are ready, we like to move on to the property visit stage. And that's where one of our team members will come to the property and see it from basement to attic. Every single room, we've got to get in occupied and vacant units. We would also be provided with any leases that were written for the tenants that were in place. If you don't have written leases, we'd ask for you to jot down the terms of the lease as you understand that verbal lease to be. Now, what are we doing at this property visit? Well, we're looking around for a lot of things that help us construct a stabilization plan or proposal for you. So we're going to be looking at where are the smoke detectors and what sort of siding you have and what sort of heat supplies there are. We'll be looking at electrical panels. We're not doing a traditional property inspection, but we're doing an evaluation for our purposes to determine the condition of the property, if there's any risk factors, and anything that needs to be factored into the stabilization plan. I've mentioned the stabilization plan a couple of times, and that's the next step. So once we've done your property visit, we're going to construct a stabilization plan. And a stabilization plan is a detailed step-by-step list of what we propose to do at your property, whether it be maintenance, addressing tenant compliance, market rent, written leases, rent in arrears. Any sort of issues that are there, we're seeking to remedy. We're seeking to take your property from in whatever condition is today to meeting the definition of stabilized, which is to attract and retain qualified tenants at market rent with no deferred maintenance. Now, that's a big sentence, but it's actually pretty simple. And when we look at your property, you'll see our stabilization plan is going to paint the picture of where you are today, the exact steps we're proposing we take, and then when we're through with those, what sort of returns you should be making. This is a document that's presented to you and reviewed, and it is our aim at that point to perfect it, to make it work perfectly for you and us. Now, the stabilization plan really serves as our proposal at this point. This is our commitment to you that if you hire us, these are the things we would be doing and the results we expect you to achieve. Just a hint, most of our stabilization plans reveal value that clients didn't realize they had in their properties. It's not unusual for you to get a proposal that promises you'll be making more money even though you'll be compensating a manager. Once you've agreed to the stabilization plan, we'll move on to onboarding. And onboarding is when we get information from you, fill out your property management agreement, and then we kick you off with the team. So we take that stabilization plan that you approved, and that's the document that I'll be sharing with our team to kick it off, to explain to them who hired us, what the property is, and what sorts of things we're going to be doing. Those tasks get taken by the different departments, and they're accountable to us every week to report on their completion or non-completion. Once we've kicked off the property, there's a lot of work that's going to be happening from that stabilization plan. And that work could go on for 1 month or it could go on for up to a year. It depends on the size and nature of the property and its issues. But it would be pretty common for these activities to go on for a period of just a couple of months. Once our team has gotten the property through the stabilization period and obtained the value and productivity we committed to the client, it is then considered stabilized. The property is then ready to be run by our team in accordance with our processes per usual for maximum productivity. We'll of course be consulting with you on decisions and things that you need to contribute, but you can count on us to be looking out ahead, letting you know what's coming up as opposed to reacting whenever possible. Sometimes people ask me, how long does it take to onboard a property? Well, if our backlog of new properties isn't too long and you're really eager and motivated to come on board, we can do this in as little as a week, but schedules would really have to line up for that. It's typical to see this process take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks from the time that a potential client calls us to when we see the property and have a stabilization plan approved that we can sign and move forward with. And so it can take longer. I've certainly had prospects work with us for even years until they were comfortable and ready to sign up. So what I'd encourage you to do now is have a little bit of comfort. You know how this process is going to work. And if you have questions, reach out. We want to chat with you about this. I make these videos so we can explain things and bring up your questions as early as possible. Thanks for watching.